Hi, my name's Shawn Shaler. That's my friend Chris Ford, aka the Objective Geek of YouTube and Twitter
With
fame.
exclusive first look concept art
With
of
this,
Avatar Zetos with
we
the
needed a
alternate
name. We really
ego.
needed. We needed a series
I
name to
might
throw out there with your scoop.
I might go with Kitsune, which is like is the actual name of the fox spirit in Japanese folklore. Um,
Love it.
or Shadow Fox, or some kid. I don't know, yeah, I think I'm fine with
You
Kitsune,
know, Shadow
but
Fox sounds too campy for me. I
it's.
prefer Kitsune.
I think you're right too. Yeah.
Uh, Kitsune concept art for Kitsune drops here.
Think.
You heard it first. Nobody, nobody else in the world likes Zeto enough to think about concept art for his superhero alter ego, except for right here. Chris, welcome to Avatar The Last Podcasters, where now that we've dropped our Kitsune tease, we're going to talk about. You have some news stashed up. I've been off the internets most of the day, so I haven't seen it, so I'm going to live react to whatever news it is you're going to share with me. Don't know what that is. I hope it's good, question mark, I guess. And that's all we have on the tally for that's all we have on the docket was just talking about whatever this news is. It's big enough that you felt like we could talk about it for a while. So I don't know whether that's really good or really scary. I'm gonna guess
I
it's
think we talk
good.
about 30 minutes.
It feels good. You played your poker cards right, like you played your hand well. But if I had to guess, it feels like good news. But no, well, maybe not. No, not now. You're
Oh, we'll see.
still got the poker face. But Chris, what you been
All right.
doing? How you been?
Oh, what am I doing?
Yeah. Since then, I see you been AI drawing a little bit.
Hey, some of that is my actual drawings, and really the AI was just to get like a little inspiration
Yeah,
of just
let it.
like I'm thinking of this character and this character. How does that look? Um, but I'm gonna start picking up drawing. Maybe you'll see.
Okay.
I have a nice tablet, has a nice pen on it. Download some apps that will help out with drawing. I'm growing up. I was fairly decent drawer artist. Haven't used that skill in time, but in my head, this is how I think of things sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I could do that. Just like I made a mosaic piece of static without anything. Because in my head, the way art works, the way I think about art is that like a lot of times you can simplify art. It's like, all right, yeah, just this thing and this thing makes this thing. Same way that I approach cosplaying and same thing way that I approach custom action figures. And it's funny, I had a thought there for a second that we could sort of do stop motion. I could just make custom action figures of all the characters for this Zettel story and just put them in place for any type of scenes.
Okay. I don't
So,
want to. I don't want to poo-poo your idea. That sounds like a lot of work, man. That sounds like
well,
an
yeah, that's
immense.
it. I mean, it wouldn't. It's hard to say how much work it would be. I mean, what do you think? Probably like at least 8 characters.
Stop
I don't know,
motion.
but
Stop motion is a lot.
no,
I'm gonna
okay. Let
say
me let me
let's.
let me say this. It wouldn't be stop motion. It would just
Okay.
be position frame. Like, oh, frame this person for throwing this punch. Right.
Stills
Position the
for
action here.
Oh,
Yeah.
my TV's making noise. Oh, sorry. Weird. Okay. Ad popped up on ESPN. Um. Yeah, so for stills for a comic book essentially.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So I had that thought for a minute, and then I thought to myself, it's just to stay in the world of that would feel like a while creative. It'll feel I don't know.
Like the
I,
robot chicken version of Avatar.
yeah.
The
But I've been doing great. A lot of Avatar stuff on my mind. Just brain vomit of a bunch of Zeto ideas that we talked about. But really, really exciting stuff on that. I have which brings some of my other Avatar stuff I'm doing. So in my head, right after I got over I'm gonna create custom action figures for these characters in this fan fiction slash canon um, Zeto story, Shadow of Justice. Um, my first after I got over that thought of doing customized triggers, I was like, you know what? Maybe I could draw the character designs and stuff like that. Because I'm a fairly decent artist there. And then I thought to myself, oh, for inspiration, I should go look at the Avatar art of books, which I have 3 of them. I've had them for a very long time, and I like when I bought them. I just kind of went through, looked at the pictures, like, oh, cool pictures, cool, and I set it down. But I've had this book now for 3 years, and then like a couple of days ago, I was like, oh, I'm going to go through and actually just look at stuff for some inspiration, and I've read through it all. I've read every single word throughout this thing, and really interesting, great stuff. Like Brian Konietzko is a freaking amazing artist, and all the other artists involved. Like, it really showed me just so much freaking work goes into Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like, I think they put way more work than people put in into normal cartoons. Like, just the level of detail, the level of, of inspiration. Oh, and then I found there's this one person who did work on there, and it's like, oh yeah, this person came in. What was her name? Um, like she majored in architecture and she worked on Avatar. Like you don't think like she's not an artist. She just majored in and she graduated college with architecture, but she does like all the buildings and backgrounds and stuff. So you wouldn't think like, oh, an architecture, archi, 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 architecture. Anyway,
Architect.
architect. Thank you. I
Uh-huh.
don't know why that was struggling with that. You wouldn't think an architect is used for animated shows, but of course they do. They need someone to like, at least in Avatar, they need someone to design buildings and stuff like that. I forgot her name. I'm sure I can find it because she's all. I don't know. Notice her. Her name is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Elsa Garagarza. Yeah, I just thought that was cool. I also thought it was cool because there was one point in my life where I was like, oh, I should major in architecture. And then I didn't because I just want finance because I am risk averse and I am good at math and I like making money without taking risk.
You know, you probably would have been, not to give you like second questions on your life, or you probably would have been a great architect. A combination of the creativity and the math. But I'm also biased. I know a lot of architects. I know that sounds weird. Chris, I play
Really?
softball in a league that is entirely comprised of architecture firms in Kansas City. Right, so I know
No.
weird notes. You probably would have made a great architect. They yeah, that's all I got to say. But
Money do you
listen,
think they make?
Uh, it's a full spectrum, and I know some that don't
Yeah.
seem to work very hard and make a whole lot of money, and I know some that
Mm,
seem to work really hard and make a very normal amount of money. So
yeah.
I think there's a combination of luck of the draw involved and the type of architecture you do.
Yeah.
Uh,
Definitely.
Chris, maybe you would have been an architectural engineer, like like a
Uh,
little more toward the math side, but still getting to exercise
yeah.
the creativity.
Those people got to make some money.
I think
Uh,
that's probably a steadier overall income stream. But I don't know. I'm conjecturing.
I also thought about being a psychiatrist or a therapist.
I would have been a
But
terrible therapist.
I, I, I think I've come to realize I'm a great listener and I love helping people. The problem is that I am very, very empathetic. And
Mhm.
like I can easily absorb someone's emotions and make them my own. So like if you're telling me some sob story, I'm I'm there with you. I'm also like of course I'm not feeling those same emotions, but I'm feeling a fraction of them and I am, empathizing and stuff and trying to feel like I don't think I was feeling that would make the more that I would bring too much stuff into myself and also bring it essentially home.
I
But
I don't even know how Heather does it, to be honest. Like
yeah.
I feed heavily off other people's emotions, and even when Heather's like, "Yeah, well, most people who come to me aren't literally dead or dying," I'm like, "But they're kind of talking about it, right?"
Yeah.
Nope, I agree entirely, and I'm also not a very good listener sometimes. Not by choice. It's just not my strongest subject. So yeah, not my probably not my
Mhm.
calling. I already forgot. Therapist or psychiatrist. I gotta be honest, Chris. When I was young, what did I think I'd be? Um, what did I think I'd be? I wanted to be a play-by-play football guy for a long time. And then
Oh.
eventually realized, hey, the world needs like 5 of those total. And then there, like you said, being a little risk averse, I'm like, oh, you know what, having income would be pretty cool. So I went past that. But anyway, this has been Career Paths with Avatar, the last podcaster. Chris, this week, I a mutual friend of ours was like, "Hey, can I be in one of your YouTube videos sometimes?" And I was like, "Hey, I don't really do that, but we could do something. What do you have in mind?" He's like, "I don't know, just whatever." Somehow we settled on watching. This is what I did this week: is watched the Nicolas Cage movie Face Off, Face Off, and we made a review of that movie. And I gotta say, he's got just a good natural speaking voice. I was talking to him. I was very jealous. I was upset that I had to watch. No, I wasn't upset. It's not a horrible movie. But Face Off is like John Woo. I think the best thing I can say about it is like John Woo one day decided, he's like, I want to make a John Woo Nick Cage movie. And somebody's like, what's it about? And he's like, it's a John Woo Nick Cage movie. And that's it. The combination of those two things is the movie. And this movie is what happened. But long story short, I recorded a video with a mutual friend, and it was weirdly entertaining. And some people, he should have been a sports play-by-play guy. He's got a great voice for it. That's what I did this
Real
week.
quick question. Real quick question, Sean, that I will
Please,
tie back possibly to Avatar.
please.
Do you think Nick Cage is a good actor?
Yes,
Okay. Even though he has some bad roles, he
he
has some
has
good
a
ones, right?
lot of bad roles. I will not deny
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that for every one good Nick Cage movie, there's at least 2 bad ones. Because remember,
Okay.
think of
So
how
he's a
many movies he's in.
yeah.
But
So he's probably even a great actor.
let me think about this for just a second before I answer.
Okay.
Yes, in the uniqueness and the range and the memorableness of his skill set,
Okay.
there's
Okay.
something
All
about
right.
it
That's
in his ability that I would call great. Yes, personally.
okay. I only we and this is not the podcast to defend this person, but I will because I've defended him before in the past. I've said in the past that M. Night Shyamalan is a great director. He
Mm-hmm.
has some great films under his belt, and he has some terrible films as well. But I still would consider him a great director, if that
This
makes sense.
this is probably the toughest situation in which to defend him, right? Like if you go to any other genre of podcast and be like Shyamalan's a great director, there's a slightly lesser chance that they're gonna say, well, what about the Avatar movie, right? There's a slightly diminished as opposed to what we deal with right here. I'm in a tough place there, Chris, because I just don't care for most of his movies. I
That's
just,
true. That at least is fair. That you don't even find the ones that I think are like absolutely great.
but I'm, but I'm not going
Like,
to say that I think that makes him a bad director. I'm going to say I'm not qualified to
okay.
provide commentary on him. But I bet he's got a better ratio of good movies to bad movies than Nick Cage does. I'll say that much.
Yeah, probably because Nick Cage would do a lot of
He's
stuff.
got a lot of. I got to Google it now just to see. I just IMDb Nick Cage, Francis Ford Coppola's nephew. Am I getting that right? I think so.
I do.
Nick Cage.
Weirdly enough, also connected to Avatar, Nick Cage for some reason looks like Toph's dad, or Toph's dad in certain images looks like an Asian Nick Cage.
Okay, so as an actor, just on IMDb, just a cursory IMDb, 117 movies. 117. And listen, I guarantee if it's in the past 30 years, it's not a small part in that movie
Hmm.
in the
Yeah.
past 30 years. Anyway, that's enough. That's enough Nick Cage talk. I just thought it was amusing and that you'd appreciate that somebody was at least familiar enough with us as humans and what we do that they were like, I want to record something. And I was like, all right, yeah, let's do that. Go follow your inspiration wherever it takes you, Chris. Wherever it takes you.
Cool.
Let's talk about news, Chris. I've been waiting all day for this
All
news.
right, Avatar news. This is about the Avatar movie coming out from Avatar Studios,
Uh-huh.
which we don't hear much from them ever at all.
Ever.
Also, reading the art book, Bryan and Mike aren't like into marketing. like,
They are
like
artists, pure and simple.
they are artists. Like they're like there's a whole thing about DVD covers or just posters for the show, and Bryan's like, the most infuriating thing about this is working with like director of whatever marketing stuff because they'll be like, no, your poster needs to be more actiony and stuff here and stuff. And like I get like the artist in you, or it's like, I don't know, I want to do this, but you gotta, especially in Hollywood, like you gotta sell stuff. But anyway,
You have to sell it before it even gets to hit the ground, right? Like you have to have those things sort of. I don't know. You got to have your pitch already prepped. It feels like.
okay. Avatar Studios is releasing, the date is still set, so that's good. The next Avatar movie, which will be about Team Avatar, well, Aang's Team Avatar as adults. The title of the movie. This might be a working title, but I hope it's a working title. The title of the movie is Aang, the Last Airbender.
I don't like that at all. Can we not have that as the title, please? Can we?
It's a terrible title.
I hate it so much. The okay, no, I don't hate it. It's just it lacks everything good. But Chris, every other part of that thing that you just said is great. Great. We've got a movie with a date that is date ish range. What was that?
That date is October 10th, 2025.
That's amazing. I think you said 25 from the beginning. I don't know if you were guessing or if you
Yep.
got it from somewhere. That's amazing. Good. Let's watch an Avatar feature length film. That's thrilling. All working titles aside.
Now, the title itself, I really hope it's a working title.
I hope it's a
But they
working
could
title.
be calling it Aang the Last Airbender because of James Cameron's Avatar. Although I thought they were over that, and because like the Netflix show is called Avatar: The Last
Yeah,
Airbender.
wouldn't we have already had to cross that bridge?
Yeah, I feel like we did.
Aren't the Avatar
Um,
movies, aren't James Cameron's Avatar movies like Netflix?
no, they're Disney.
Oh, they are. Okay, pardon me.
Yeah, yeah, Disney bought Fox. Fox was one that did it before.
Right, got it. But I
But
feel
yeah,
like
just
Heather watched The
call
Way
it.
of Water on Netflix, but she probably didn't because I don't pay that much attention. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted.
Uh, very good. So the title could be that um because of James Cameron Avatar. I don't want the title because it is redundant. Like Avatar, it's called Avatar: Last Airbender. You just call it Aang the Last Airbender. It just also it seems like we're over the Last Airbender story element. Like
That
yeah, like
that feels like when my mom would call my PlayStation a Nintendo, right? Did you? I don't know if you ever had similar issues, but they were all Nintendos. That's what that feels like to me.
hmm.
They're all Last Airbenders, Chris. That's all it is. Just a bunch of Last Airbenders. It's the same one.
Now if the only way in my head this title can make sense and be like related to the story is if maybe Tenzin is born or something, or maybe before I joked that Appa died, because then Aang would be like the last Airbender, but Appa doesn't die because Appa lives to at least when Tenzin is like 15. Um,
Are you saying that with proof, not just desperately, right? No, I
that is
think.
proof.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, that in the comic books, he lives to at least when Tenzin is 15.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, the title itself not that great. Hope it's a working title. Even if it's The Legend of Aang colon something something else, even that would be better.
Depending on what the something else is, I would most likely be okay with that. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Other news besides that the title is Aang the Last Airbender and that it is again confirmed to come out October 10th, 2025,
Awesome.
is that we have the voice actor for the main villain.
No
And that
kidding.
guy, yeah, this is probably going to be the biggest voice actor in this, if I had to guess.
Okay.
It is Dave Bautista. Dave
No
Bautista
way. That's
will
what
be
a
voicing.
Sparky Boom Man.
Yeah, that's what I said. Also, like Combustion Man's coming back.
It's
I
gotta be.
said, dang, the last Airbender, more combustion. 5 times the Sparky, 10 times the Boom, or no, 10 times the Sparky, 5 times the Boom, because Sparky. Anyway, the math
That
still
makes me
doesn't
think of
add
in
up.
Danny Pudi Avatar. We're getting kind of back in a circle here, but it makes me think of Kick Puncher 3, the kickening,
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
the combustioning.
It's funny that I connect him to Combustion Man, even though he's never played that
Not
role
at
at
all.
all.
Zero association with this
It's just
series
if
whatsoever.
if Combustion Man was in the live action version,
Is
the
it
absolute best pick would be Dave Batista.
is it weird that yeah, it would be you would have to, I think, by default. Is it weird though that like when you see a character on screen and then you see an actor, the voice actor that looks nothing like that character, just for a second you're like, "What? Oh wait, I don't see that person." Right, never mind. But
Yeah.
just for a second you're like, "Timmy Turner's a girl?" Just fleeting moment in your
Played
brain.
by Hot Paul. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, sorry, unrelated. Dave Batista is
Uh,
playing for real this time.
yes, so he's playing the main villain. No information yet on the main villain. Not what nation they come from. Nothing. I am. Thing is, I love Dave Bautista. Is probably becoming. He's definitely the best actor from WWE
Okay.
to come out of it.
Okay.
I would think, right?
That's I
Mm.
mean, if you're going by dollars, The Rock is still there, right? If just
Well,
strict
not
dollars,
not dog, not dog. I'm talking
just
acting
acting quality.
ability.
Okay.
I think he's been in roles where he's been able to stretch.
Hmm?
But even speaking of M Night again, in M Night's latest film, Dave Bautista is in it, and he delivers a really great performance. But his voice in it is really good. Like it's kind of this. I don't know. It's measured, but it's a little ominous and stuff.
He
I think he's going to do
has
great things in this role.
he has a great voice that most people just think of what's his name of Drax, right? And that's fine. He is Drax. Like
Yeah,
maybe not as a person. I'd like to think that he's smarter, but Drax is a perfect character when you think of Drax. But he has a very unique, likable, clear voice. It can you can swing it good, you can swing it bad. It can be big and scary. It there's something that I like about listening to him. Yeah, is he a better actor than Rock? I think that's a fair statement.
yeah, I think so.
That's cool though.
Yeah. Okay.
Sparky Boom Man 2. The Sparkening.
Boom, boom, yeah. Boom's back, baby.
Okay. But what if you're right? What if it is Sparky Boom? That'd be amazing. No, that's I take
That
it
would
back.
be.
I don't know if that would
Yeah.
be that amazing or not. Like, no, the job's not done.
That would not be like they. Like, Sokka beat you last time with
With a rock,
with the.
David and Goliath to you. No, I
Yeah,
guess you're right. It was a boomerang, wasn't it? That's hey,
yeah.
that's
Same.
cool. It's cool just to see that they. I mean, that's just one name, but that's a really big name. Could be the biggest, but that's a
Yeah,
good sign.
yeah. And speaking of other names, they've released the other names that are attached. They didn't say what characters they're playing, but from looking at it, it's pretty obvious what characters they're playing. from looking at the actors. They've already. I don't know if this was announced before or not, but Dante Bosco's coming back to voice Zuko. I am all cool with that.
Great.
Because Dante Bosco, one thing, he's an amazing voice actor. There's been a little Dante Bosco hate lately for some reason. I deserve it. Great. I won't say hate, just internet people being internet people.
Yeah.
Um,
Web
it's like I don't
people.
think you guys understand how great of a job he does as Zuko. Like, sure, he's using his voice, but he has range with his voice.
That's probably really the if there is a conflict that I do not echo the sentiment at all, is that it really just is his voice. I can
Yeah,
see that being. I saw a thing of him just the other day, like a short or something, but where he was dressed up like today as Rufio, and that made me pretty happy. Still
yeah,
looked good. Still looked exactly like Rufio, just a little, fuller faced because he's not a small child.
yeah. Um. Oh yeah. So Dante Bosco is coming back. They have a person for Aang. I don't know who this person is at all. Um. His name is. Oh, I should also preface this by saying none of the original voice actors are coming back unless they were cast appropriate to the race. And some people are like, "Oh, why do that? Keep the voice actors." And I would always echo that diversity is great. Like, sure, it'll be great if we reach a point in society where everyone feel like they have the same opportunity for different roles and stuff, but we're not there yet. So we're like, hey, anyone can play anyone because so many people have so many opportunities. We'd love to be at that point in society. We're not there yet. So it's great to give people the opportunities to portray characters who reflect who they are. Really, honestly, and any I would like having that most of the time anyway. And I know, well, what about anime? Anime is a whole different
Different
thing.
bucket.
And one of the things about anime is like sometimes it's great to hear different cultures and voices do the different characters. Anyway, neither here nor there. Oh, I hate that saying. On to another thing.
Neither here nor.
I hate
It's got to
that
be
saying.
somewhere, Chris.
Exactly. Neither here nor there is the dumbest saying because
No,
if
no,
I
no,
don't
no, Chris. It is what
specify,
it is the dumbest saying. I almost
no,
dropped
I'm
the F
cool.
bomb.
It is what it is
I
because
hate that one.
it is what it is,
It
and
is what it
I'm
is.
like, so what am I supposed to do? It is what it is.
It is.
Like,
I know it
but
is because I just described the thing, Chris. I know.
but
Give.
neither here nor there doesn't make sense, right? If I'm like, oh, Batman's cool, but that's neither here nor there. If I don't specify where there is everywhere that is not here.
I
It.
think
I'm talking about here right now. Here's the conversation. If I don't specify where there is, then that is there. It's over there.
it is. It's not here, but it is there. All right, so Chris,
Yeah,
yours is incorrect, but it is what it is redundant and stupid. I don't accept
it is
either of
redundant.
these as useful colloquialisms. I can't pronounce colloquialisms without doing it real slow.
Although,
Anyway,
anyway, the uh, okay, they got a person to voice Aang. His name is Eric Nam. He was born in America. He is South Korean. It's funny. Anytime someone talks about Korea, they just say Korean, and I'm like, but which Korea?
they
As if they
probably
come from
care.
North Korea.
They probably care that you do specify, if I had to guess.
True. Um, but I don't have much information. He's a singer or something.
Okay,
I don't think I've never seen him do a role at all. So whatever. Um, I'm indifferent to that
withhold
casting.
judgment. Well,
Yeah.
your indifference,
Um,
it's neither here nor there, really. Your indifference is
that is very much here.
it is right here.
Um, other casting news. Dion Kwan. She's been cast in it. She is Asian. She voiced Kimmy in Rugrats.
Nice. Also
Yeah.
Asian.
Yes. Yes, that character's all. Yeah. She'll be. It's not in the trades and stuff, but she'll probably voice in Toph. Like that's
Cool.
someone. Someone says she's voicing Toph. I don't trust that source. I mean, it's a very, very well educated guess that she is voicing Toph, but
You don't trust
you
the
know,
source to be factual, but you agree with the hypothesis, and I think that's valid.
yes. Then there's Roman Zaragoza. That name doesn't sound familiar to you. Didn't sound familiar to me either.
Uh-uh.
But I'm familiar with his work. He is Sass on Ghost, and I love Ghost. You know, the Native American on the CBS show
Oh yeah,
Ghost.
no, that's a good show. Heather really likes.
That's
I like 3.5, 4 out of 5. I like 4 out of 5.
okay.
Heather loves that show.
For some reason, Sean, when I recommended that to you, I was like, I think Heather would love this show. In my head, for some reason, I thought she would love it more than you would.
You nailed it.
So
I
glad
don't
I
know
was.
why. I don't know why that came in your head, but it was accurately founded. I do enjoy it. I'm not in any way trying to disparage it. She
I love.
actively follows
I
it.
love Ghost. I
Good
love
show.
Ghost. It's. Mm. I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's rotation material, but I love Ghost.
It can be great and not necessarily be rotation material. That's fine.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
there's a role for that.
Uh, but I love the character Sass. I think he is perfect for Sokka. Like he has this sort of sarcastic vibe to him, and he's 20. Like 5 years ago, he would have made the perfect live action Sokka. He's 27 years old. Um, he's
He looks so
he's
young in the TV show. You probably could have passed
he
him
does.
off too.
Yeah, yeah. Um, he's actually, I want to say just a quarter Native American,
Okay.
and but
I intend this to be
um,
complimentary. He looks very Native American, but
yeah, but he's like a quarter Native American, and then uh, Mexican, I
okay.
think, and then maybe even a little Asian, Chinese or Japanese or
Huh.
something. Sorry, I can't remember. Somewhere across Asia. So, but anyway, just thought I'll share that.
That's awesome. Yeah, that would be the
Yeah.
only other actor I would recognize, I think.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not
And
true.
then
I,
there's
I
just
recognized Kimmy. Okay.
that's true. Then there's Jessica Mateen. I I'm not gonna take credit for this casting, but I did. She's Native American. I did cast her in my live action Korra video to play Ming Hua, the waterbender with the armless waterbender.
But
And
she had too
one
many
thing,
arms for the part. Is that what you're trying to say?
yeah, I guess so.
Tough,
But
tough role
everyone
to
just assumed.
cast.
Actually, this was this was announced. I guess it was announced. Someone broke it a while ago that she'll be playing Katara. Maybe she accidentally said she was playing Katara. This is like more than a month ago. Um, so that's more factual. I do
Cool.
believe there's a video of her saying she plays Katara.
Cool.
But looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to
What else does?
to
What else is she in?
uh, honestly, she hasn't been in all that. I don't think she'll be anything that you are
What?
familiar
But
with.
like what? Like what? Just out of curiosity, what did you dig her up from? What inspired you to cast her originally?
Uh, I did a lot of research when I was doing those videos. So
Okay,
I searched up like a
that's
lot of different Native American and Asian actors. And honestly, I looked at the picture and I was like, dang, she has a deadly look to her face. And I was like, yeah, she could play Ming Hua.
fair enough.
Mhm.
Well, when it comes to live
But
action, that's got to be some of the battle. Maybe not as much with voice acting stuff, but live action at the
she was
time.
in various different things. But she's been around for a while. So she's a well. I've watched a few of her different roles, but she's pretty good. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
Uh,
great news, Chris. The name is off-putting, but I'm not going to let that deter me from the fact that we're going to be able to see animated Avatar: The Last Airbender in feature-length film mode, and I think that's awesome.
yeah. The there's some outlet that said I don't know if they said it was going to be a trilogy of movies or if that trilogy is considering because there's rumors before that they're doing another a Kyoshi. There's rumors of doing a Kyoshi movie, a Zuko movie, and a horror movie. I think that Zuko movie was. I think that's one that's most false because I don't see Zuko having his own movie. Um, nothing against Zuko,
It's a
but
rom com where he's just trying to find love with a random girl in Ba Sing Se.
it's
She's
called.
a busy businesswoman. Sorry, go ahead.
Um, but that is all the news, I think.
Hey, that's perfect. That's good enough for me. Let's let's wrap this up and get to the next topic next week. So our recording might seem choppy because we're gonna plug this one in this week when you're listening to it right now in the present, and then the one that we intended for this week we're gonna push out to next week, and the one that we're gonna record next right now is gonna be 3 weeks out. That probably won't impact your listenership at all. I know sometimes I reference those things and it's not necessary, but anyway, if it feels a bit choppy, you're like, did they mean to put this there? We did. We moved things around a little bit to accommodate this news because it's exciting. But that being said,
Chris was wearing that shirt 2 weeks ago.
that's honestly in my head. That's like Shawn was wearing that sweater and sitting in that exact same position because I move around a little bit. You move around too, right? Couch one day, shelf it. So they'll
Yeah.
be like, wait a minute, trying to pull a fast one on us. No, we're not. We're just inspired. That's all. Anyway, like, comment, bells, subscriptions, positive reviews, thumbs ups, whatever other.
I need to go onto my wife's iTunes and put in a review for us. We haven't had a new review in a while.
Heather and I are so. Gosh, do I want to say this out loud and get us both in trouble? Heather and I lack Apple products and a desire to use Apple services.
I thought you were gonna say you guys went under different aliases and you are
Oh.
responsible for most of the reviews.
No, that takes more energy. Being dishonest takes more energy than I'm willing to spend on stuff. No, we have one shared iTunes account like that we use exactly to give this show a review, and I don't know, I might own an album on it that I probably got from like a free download code somewhere. That's it. That's my iTunes
Man, we haven't had a
interaction.
review in like 2.5 years.
That means that
Definitely
everybody
goes on
is
a
completely satisfied with us, and that's why they're not leaving bad reviews. So, yeah, leave us positive interactions. I'll put all of the details about us and the show down in the description. And we'll be back next week talking about something that I don't remember because my brain's out of order. So, you'll hear us talking about something. And then
blind ranking. Yeah.
blind rank. Oh, yeah, that was fun. We had a good blind ranking session. So, come back next week. Watch us blind rank some stuff. And then the following week, we're going to talk about Toph's character arc. And it's going to be fun, too. Thanks for watching. I'm Shawn. That's Chris Ford, my friend, a.k.a. The Objective Geek of YouTube and Twitter fame. This has been Avatar, The Last Podcasters. And we'll see you next time.
I'm sure I was late on that.
A little bit, but you were pretty close. I can see the little modulation, and it was not too far off.